Understanding auto insurance. Welcome to the Phoenix Insurance channel. I'm Justin.
And I am Aaron.
And we are going to use our 20 years of insurance experience to help you navigate this complicated world of insurance, translating it from insurance to human being. And today, we're going to start with the auto coverage. We should start though with a disclaimer.
That's right. We are just going to speak in generalities in this video. For specifics about laws in your state, we highly recommend you speak with a licensed professional in your own state. Insurance is pretty universal as it works its way across the United States, so these coverages that we're talking about should apply in most states. For subtle nuances, make sure you speak to a professional.
Let's start with the big one, the liability insurance. Liability is your responsibility to other people. If you careen through a farmer's market and knock a bunch of people down and spill a bunch of fruit, that's where your liability comes in. It's generally written in a three-form way, so you have three numbers, 100, 300, and 50. And what those numbers mean are 100,000 per person in bodily injury per accident, 300,000 altogether per accident, and $100,000 in property damage to others per accident.
It's called a split limit liability.
There is another type of liability called combined single limit. We'll speak about that in a different episode, but for now, we'll focus on split limits. The second coverage we have is uninsured motorist split limits.
That's right. Uninsured motorist at split limits will have the same look as the liability coverage, 100/300/100. And again, it's talking about the first two numbers, bodily injury. This is to you, the people in your car, for any injuries that are caused by someone who hits them, doesn't have any insurance or doesn't have enough insurance. And then you've got the third number, 100,000. This would be the property damage number. That's going to pay out for damage to your property or any property inside your car. In Texas, where we are, we have one coverage called uninsured/underinsured motorist. So it pays for any injuries or property damage in the event of an accident with someone who doesn't have any insurance or does not have enough insurance. In other states, they'll split those into two different things where you've got to buy an uninsured and an underinsured limit, but those are what those coverages mean.
That's correct. Uninsured motorist is one way to cover your bodily injury in the event of an accident. The next way is MedPay and or personal injury protection. They're very similar coverages. Both are available in some states. Singles are available in other states, but we'll start with MedPay because MedPay covers your body in the event of an accident, whether you're at fault or you're not at fault. One of the fun things about MedPay, I guess if there is a fun part of an auto claim, is that you can claim your MedPay coverage if you're walking down the street and get into a car accident. It covers you in any accident with a car for your medical bills. The second one is personal injury protection. Very similar to MedPay in that it extends to you outside of your car. It covers you if someone runs into you or if you run into someone. But the big difference with personal injury protection is that it can cover lost wages. So if you have to take a day off to deal with getting your car moved to where it needs to go, PIP can certainly help you with that. So that's how you can cover your body on your policy.
Yeah, PIP is great. It costs a little bit more, but there are some ancillary benefits outside of just payments for medical expenses. The next coverages we want to talk about are the physical damage coverages. In layman's terms, these are the full coverage options, that your comprehensive and your collision coverage. We'll start with collision. Collision is going to pay for any damage that happens to your vehicle that is the direct result of colliding with something or something colliding with you. You're gonna pay a deductible for this coverage and it's gonna cover your car. There are a few different ways that your car may be valued by the collision coverage, either actual cash value, stated value, agreed value.
We'll get into those in a different video though.
You're gonna pay your deductible out of your pocket and the insurance company is gonna pay for the rest of your car up to the valuation that they've got assigned to that collision coverage. Then you've got the comprehensive coverage. Insider term for this one is other than collision, which makes it easier to understand because it's going to pay for physical damage that happens to your car that is the direct result of anything other than a collision. So
like
that's
what?
going to be hail damage,
okay,
vandalism, theft, fire,
tree falling on it,
and if you hit a live animal. Coincidentally, if you hit the live animal, it's under comprehensive or other than collision coverage, but if the animal's already dead and in the road and you hit it, it's going to be collision coverage. keep that in mind.
Now we come to some of the more fun coverages on your policy, if any insurance coverage can be called fun.
These ones are a gas.
So we start with your rental reimbursement. So rental reimbursement coverage is available to you if you have comprehensive and collision coverage. If your car is unusable because of a covered loss, they will put you in a car so that you can get back and forth to work. It's really worthwhile. It's generally very inexpensive compared to renting a car for a week or two if you're in an accident. And it's a pretty simple way to make sure that you don't miss any work. The second coverage we have is roadside assistance. So roadside assistance used to be called towing. And it used to be just drag your broken car to wherever it's going to be fixed, but insurance companies have expanded it as a value add. They'll bring you a gallon of gas, they'll take you out of your locked out car, they'll even help you change a tire, and they will drag your wrinkled up car from the scene of the accident to wherever it's being repaired. It's so inexpensive, it doesn't make any sense to not carry roadside assistance, even if you have AAA as a backup to make sure that you've got that protection.
Yeah, great coverages. Another couple of really nice coverages available on auto policies now are new car replacement coverage. So if you buy a new car, it's going to lose value as soon as you drive off the lot. And if you have an accident just a few weeks later, typically you're going to end up getting a lot less for the payout for your car than you just paid for it. So to avoid that scenario happening, you can buy new car replacement coverage. It's an optional coverage and you've got to ask for it, and it's only available when you're buying a brand new car and you are the original owner. Another coverage that is available on auto insurance is gap coverage. Now, you're familiar with this from dealerships, I'm sure, for a long time, and this is going to protect you if your car is worth less than you actually owe the bank on the car. You've got a gap in the amount of value there, because if you total your car, the insurance company is going to pay you what they said they were going to pay you, which is what your car is worth, not necessarily what your loan value is. So in order to make sure you cover that gap, we used to buy gap insurance from dealerships, and it used to cost, and well, it still does, it costs thousands of dollars for a gap policy when you buy a brand new car. But on your auto insurance policy, typically it's a really inexpensive add-on, maybe $20, $30 a year, something like that, to add that gap coverage to your car to make sure that you are protected if you do have that gap in the value of your car. Another one I want to touch on that is not available with all companies, but it's out there, is OEM options. If you have a car and you want to make sure that when it is repaired, you get original equipment manufacturer parts on it, you have to buy an OEM endorsement if it is available. Because if it's not, or if you don't buy it, insurance companies are allowed to use the most cost-effective means to fix your vehicle, which means using aftermarket parts or even using reconditioned parts, re-engineered parts. So if that's something that's really important to you, make sure you're talking to your insurance advisor about that.
I would argue that you should ask your insurance advisor about anything we haven't covered. Some policies offer a way to cover your personal effects. Make sure that you ask about those things. Buying insurance should really be a conversation. I know that the commercials always tell you to talk about premium, but first talk about coverage and then decide if the premium makes sense. So those are the basic parts of an auto insurance policy.
Absolutely. If you enjoyed what you saw, please remember to like, subscribe, and share. If you have any specific questions about any auto insurance coverages, please leave a comment down below. We will absolutely respond to that, and we may even make a special video just for you. Thank you very much for watching.
The Phoenix Insurance for you.